What if spiritual awakening didn't have to take decades? What if the transformation you've been chasing could unfold in a matter of weeks or even days?
Darius discovered something that changes the entire way we understand awakening. It's not about how long you meditate, it's about what shifts inside you.
We've been told awakening is slow. You sit, breathe, and wait for enlightenment to arrive someday. The process feels endless, almost unreachable.
And maybe that's been your experience. You've done the work, read the books, meditated for years, yet something still feels stuck.
So you start believing that's just how it is. Growth takes time, right?
But what if time isn't the issue? What if the real key was never about time, but about consciousness itself?
That's the discovery. Awakening doesn't unfold in a straight line. It happens in leaps. Consciousness doesn't move like a clock. It moves like lightning.
And lightning doesn't wait. It strikes in an instant. Your perception can flip. Your understanding can expand. Your whole reality can shift. Right now.
Darius spent decades exploring out-of-body states, directly observing how awareness behaves. What he found is that consciousness isn't bound by time at all.
It's quantum. It expands when you stop believing in slowness. The moment you realize awakening is immediate, it starts being immediate.
In this video, Darius reveals the principle that allows your awakening to accelerate naturally.
By the end, you'll understand what consciousness truly is, and you'll learn a practice that can trigger this shift today.
So if you're ready to move beyond effort and step into awareness itself, stay with us. The secret isn't in the future, it's in the present moment.
Most people think consciousness is something you have. Like, I have consciousness, I have awareness, I have a mind. But that's not what consciousness is.
Consciousness is not something you have. Consciousness is what you are. You are not a person with consciousness. You are consciousness experiencing itself as a person.
Think of it like this. Imagine consciousness is like light. Light is not something the sun has. Light is what the sun is.
And just like light can be focused or diffused, consciousness can be focused or diffused. When consciousness is focused, you're awake. When consciousness is diffused, you're asleep.
And the difference between being asleep and awake is not time. It's focus.
There are different levels of consciousness. The lowest level is unconsciousness. You're completely asleep. You're not aware at all.
The next level is consciousness. You're aware, but only of the physical world, only of what your senses tell you.
The next level is self-consciousness. You're aware of yourself. You know that you're aware.
The next level is cosmic consciousness. You're aware of yourself as part of the whole. You know that you're connected to everything.
And the highest level is pure consciousness. You're aware of consciousness itself. You know that you are consciousness.
What Darius discovered is that you can move through these levels instantly, not gradually, not over time, instantly, because the levels are not separated by time. They're separated by understanding.
The moment you understand what the next level is, you can access it. And that's what accelerates awakening.
If awakening is about shifting consciousness, then the reason you're not awakening fast is because you don't understand what consciousness is. You're still operating from the belief that consciousness is something you have, not something you are.
And that belief keeps you stuck in the lower levels of consciousness. Because when you think consciousness is something you have, you think you're separate from consciousness. You think you're a person trying to become conscious. But that's backwards. You're consciousness trying to remember that you're consciousness. And the moment you remember that, you shift levels instantly.
So most spiritual practices are trying to help you become conscious. But you can't become something you already are. So the practices don't work. Or they work very slowly. Because you're trying to achieve something that's already true. You're trying to become consciousness when you already are consciousness. The fastest way to awaken is to stop trying to become conscious and start remembering that you are consciousness. To stop trying to achieve awakening and start recognizing that you're already awake.
And that shift in understanding is what accelerates the entire process.
The first level is physical consciousness. You're aware of the physical world. You know your body, you perceive through your senses. Most people are stuck at this level. They think this is all there is. But this is just the beginning.
The second level is mental consciousness. You're aware of your thoughts, you know your mind, you can observe your thinking. At this level, you start to realize that you're not your thoughts. You're the awareness of your thoughts. And that realization is the beginning of awakening.
The third level is emotional consciousness. You're aware of your emotions. You know your heart. You can feel your being. At this level, you start to realize that emotions are not who you are. They're experiences you're having. And that realization deepens your awakening.
The fourth level is cosmic consciousness. You're aware of yourself as part of the whole. You know that you're connected to everything. At this level, you start to realize that separation is an illusion. Everything is one. And that realization transforms your awakening completely.
The fifth level is pure consciousness. You're aware of consciousness itself. You know that you are consciousness. At this level, there's no more awakening to do. You're fully awake. You're not trying to become anything. You're just being what you are. So, how do you move through these levels quickly? Not through more practices, not through more effort, but through understanding, through seeing what's true at each level. Each time you understand what's true, you shift to the next level.
Each time you see through the illusion, you move up. And each time you move up, your awakening accelerates.
So here's how to accelerate your awakening. Step 1. Recognize what level of consciousness you're currently at. Are you only aware of the physical world? That's level 1. Are you aware of your thoughts? That's level 2. Are you aware of your emotions? That's level 3. Are you aware of your connection to everything? That's level 4. Are you aware of consciousness itself? That's level 5.
Step 2. Understand the truth of your current level. What is true at this level? What is the reality here? For example, if you're at level 2, the truth is, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness of my thoughts. When you really understand that, you shift.
Step 3. Integrate the truth into your being. Don't just know it intellectually. Live from it. Make decisions from that understanding. Speak from that understanding. Be from that understanding. And the moment you integrate it, you shift to the next level.
Step 4. Recognize the new level you've shifted into. Notice how your awareness has expanded. Notice how your perspective has changed. And then repeat the process.
Step 5. Keep accelerating the cycle. The more you move through the levels, the faster you move, because you're not trying to achieve something anymore. You're just recognizing what's already true. And that recognition happens faster and faster.
There's a point where awakening becomes exponential. It's not linear anymore. It's not gradual. Suddenly, you're shifting levels rapidly. Your consciousness is expanding quickly. And that point is when you understand that you are already awake.
The moment you realize that you are consciousness, not someone trying to become conscious, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not working towards awakening. You're recognizing awakening. And recognition is instant. So your awakening accelerates exponentially.
Darius experienced this in out-of-body states. He was exploring consciousness, trying to understand it better, and then, in one moment, he realized, I am consciousness. I've always been consciousness.
And in that moment, everything shifted. His entire understanding transformed. His awakening accelerated exponentially. Now, let's connect this to what we've been talking about in previous videos. We talked about removing illusions. We talked about trusting your intuition. We talked about spiritual growth.
Well, all of that is about shifting consciousness. When you remove an illusion, you shift consciousness. When you trust your intuition, you shift consciousness. When you grow spiritually, you shift consciousness.
So everything we've been teaching is about accelerating your consciousness shift, and understanding that is what accelerates your awakening.
So here's what I want you to do today. Don't wait, don't think about it, do it now.
Step 1. Sit in silence and ask yourself, what level of consciousness am I at? Be honest. Where are you really?
Step 2. Ask yourself, what is the truth of this level? What is true at the level you're at?
Step 3. Sit with that truth. Feel it. Understand it deeply. And notice how your consciousness shifts. That shift is your awakening accelerating.
So let's recap the consciousness secret to accelerated awakening. Spiritual awakening is not about time, it's about consciousness. And consciousness can shift instantly when you understand what it is.
You are not a person trying to become conscious. You are consciousness experiencing itself as a person. And the moment you remember that, your awakening accelerates.
You move through the levels of consciousness rapidly. Your understanding expands exponentially. Your being transforms completely. That's spiritual awakening accelerated.
So in the comments, I want you to share something. Share what level of consciousness you think you're at right now. And share what truth you're recognizing about that level.
Because when you write it, when you speak it, when you share it, you're accelerating your own awakening, and you're giving others permission to accelerate theirs too.
If this resonated with you, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. There are people in your life who are ready to accelerate their awakening. There are people who are ready to shift their consciousness.
Share this with them. Help them understand. Help them remember.
If you want to go deeper into accelerated awakening, we have more videos coming. Videos on how to access the higher levels of consciousness, how to sustain your awakening, how to embody pure consciousness.
Right now on your screen, you'll see two options. Choose the one that calls to you, because your spiritual awakening, your consciousness expansion, your journey of remembering who you really are, it's accelerating right now.
You are consciousness. You have always been consciousness. You will always be consciousness. You're just remembering that now.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open to this truth. Thank you for accelerating your own awakening.
We'll see you in the next one.